Hello and welcome back to the Creative Differences podcast. I'm Dallas and I'm wondering if Bowsette is going to be in the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
I'm Colin and I would bet you so much money that she will not be given her internet fame. That said, you know them porn artists are going to take any opportunity.
They do.
And I'm Demi, and everybody on this podcast is officially 30. Welcome to the Creative Differences podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Fancast Fridays, Throwback Thursdays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Today, we will be reviewing Amsterdam and Werewolf by Night.
That is true. And speaking of werewolves and their fans, Gabby figured if she was in this episode, she'd just out herself as a furry, so she opted out. Probably a good choice.
I can't wait until one day we actually get to say the reason why Gabby was never here.
I don't think we ever should.
All of my reasons are canon.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though.
Canon to you. Head canons.
I'm sorry, you watched something called Werewolf by Night. You know if she would have been on this episode, that would have been too much.
Right? Like,
all right.
That one's accurate.
Before we get started.
Yes. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell the homies, tell your friends. Find Gabby and tell her. Or a crazy old white woman will lock you in a cage. I would not give you context for that.
For a second, I was like, what?
Yeah,
and then
right?
I was like, oh, wait. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. All right, let's get this started because we've got a lot to do today. First up, Amsterdam, written and directed by David O. Russell, starring Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Rami Malek, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Robert De Niro. In the 1930s, three friends witness a murder, are framed for it, and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So I feel like I feel very similarly to this movie as I did with Don't Worry, Darling, where I was like, oh, the marketing is so good. This movie's going to be great. And then I went to see it and I was like, okay, that was all right. That was cool.
Okay.
But I did find it more enjoyable and rewatchable than American Hustle, but not as good as Silver Linings Playbook. Both of these movies are David O. Russell movies that I
was
seen.
Wondering why you were making the comparison.
Yes. I was not a fan of American Hustle.
Yeah, I walked in late and I was like, whatever, I don't need the rest of this.
And then, yeah, I love Silver Linings Playbook, though.
It's good.
But yeah, I liked the story, and I was really locked in with when the film is moving at a clip. The pacing on this movie is real weird, and I think the editing is also kind of strange. Like, it has a nice, fast-paced rhythm to it at times, and then all of a sudden it'll start to drag.
Huh.
It's just so weird. There were moments where I found myself feeling like a scene was too long, or wondering why certain moments mattered to the film. Because, like, when you're watching something, everything should matter.
Especially when you consider that you're watching an edited product. So this is the stuff that they thought really mattered.
Yeah, there's like a scene where for 30 seconds, Christian Bale's character and Zoe Saldana's character are sitting in an office listening to music.
Okay.
And I was like, I get why this matters for these two characters because you're trying to create a romantic rapport between them or whatever.
Are they doing anything? Are they touching?
They're sitting there just listening to music.
Oh.
Vibing.
Are they exchanging significant looks even? Like anything?
Not really.
See, that's...
But yeah, I was like, I get that you're doing, like, you're trying to build up this romantic relationship, but also, what does this have to do with the rest of the film that's going on?
Right.
The movie feels very disjointed at times because there would be scenes where we would get character growth, but those scenes of character growth didn't seem... It wasn't like the plot was moving forward when we were getting those moments of character growth. It was like, we have to stop so that we can do this. And now the movie's going again.
I don't like that.
It completely stops at one point early on in the movie to give us the backstory of the main trio's friendship. And that's obviously very important. Like, you do need to understand why this connection is as significant as it is to this film. But I felt like there may have been a better way of giving us that information that doesn't stop the momentum of the movie.
Or maybe at least give that off at the top. So
no, it was the thing is, it's at the top of the movie. It's like right after the catalyst.
Oh.
So we're in the middle of like,
that's the thing, though.
Stuff just started. Oh, it's going on. We're popping off. And then hold on, wait, here's the backstory of these three characters.
See, that feels mixed up.
We're going to get going, but wait, not yet.
Wait, not yet. Christian Bale has to do a narration where he tells you guys about all the stuff that happened before this and how they became friends.
All right.
Yeah. And then also the tone kind of felt inconsistent at times. But the movie is really funny at times.
Oh, good.
Definitely pretty funny. Chris Rock has a line in this movie that I was dying. I was cracking up.
I keep forgetting who's all in this movie. It's like, wait, Chris Rock?
Does he get slapped?
No. The actors give great performances as they should because this cast is stacked.
Yeah, it does have a really good cast. That's why I almost wanted to watch it.
But I'm only going to stick to the main players here. Christian Bale he's such a fantastic actor. Between playing Gore earlier on this year in Thor: Love and Thunder and then playing Burt Berenson in this movie. Like, these are such different characters with such completely different personalities, and he's so good at both of them. Like, I believe him as both of these people.
Yeah.
Like, I took my dad and my brother to see it, and when we came out of the theater, my brother was like, they cast an actual dude with a glass eye to play that character, and I was like, no, Devin, that's the guy who played the villain in Thor Love and Thunder. And he was like, oh, that is the same guy. He didn't even realize that, like, Christian Bale was playing both of these characters.
Which is fair, because Gore is weird looking.
That's true. Gore is weird looking.
Like a demonic Silver Surfer a little bit.
Yeah. Margot Robbie continues to be one of my favorite actresses. I truly believe that she could probably do anything. She's one of those actresses who I'm like, you could give her almost any role that's appropriate. And
I say Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, exactly. Any role that is appropriate for her to play. And I think that she would pull it off. She's incredible. John David Washington's acting style reminds me a lot of his father's.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever watched a movie where he more reminded me of Denzel Washington.
Does he guarantee anything?
Thank you,
does
Colin.
not guarantee.
That was my question.
At least I don't think he does. But I only pay attention to guarantees when Denzel Washington is in the movie.
I wonder if his contracts state that he can't guarantee because he doesn't want to be compared to his father.
See, that's
I don't want to make any guarantees.
In order to satisfy that contract, there's a guarantee involved.
He can do it off screen.
Yeah, just not on screen.
Yeah.
Rami Malek and Anya Taylor-Joy give two of my favorite performances in this movie.
Nice.
The way that they both speak in this movie, I love the affected speech patterns that they're using. Anya Taylor-Joy's character is just like this really rich, uppity woman who just everything has to be proper. And just the way that she speaks, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen Anya Taylor-Joy do something like this. And it's so funny to me. The movie visually looks good. The cinematography, production design, and the costume design are well done. It didn't leave as strong of an impression on me as, like, Don't Worry, Darling. Whatever they did for the glass eye, like, I don't know. I assume it's got to be CGI, I guess. Because there's a moment in the movie where Christian Bale's character is talking and his actual eye moves, but the glass one doesn't. It just sits and stays in place. So it's staring in one spot while the other eye is moving around. Ugh. And I was just like, how is that that's not a contact lens. Like and I don't think he can just move one eyeball. So.
I mean, obviously he committed and removed an eye and put a glass eye. Like, come on,
if anybody could, it's Christian Bale.
Yeah. So
that sounds like a Jared Leto thing to do.
Yeah, but story-wise, I feel like the movie's very disjointed, but it's got some really great performances in it, and it's pretty funny at times. I think it's enjoyable. I think the phrase would be that it's not as good as the sum of its parts.
Okay. Like, there are things you like about it, but then you put it all together, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. Got to the end of it, and I was like, I would definitely watch it again. I was definitely intrigued. So, yeah. Note, I never said that director's name again after introducing him.
That's good.
Well, I guess you did only because you mentioned movies that he had directed. But anyway.
Yes.
Bitch.
He does not exist.
Those are my thoughts on Amsterdam.
Nice.
Let's move on to Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night, the Disney Plus special for spooky season. It is directed by Michael Giacchino. You know him, but as a composer because he makes really dope scores for everything.
He made my favorite score of the year so far.
Which one was that?
The Batman.
See, I didn't even remember that was him.
That was this year.
Early this year.
I knew somebody was going to say that.
Back when the Lemley was around. Rest in peace. But yeah, he did the Batman, friggin' Spider-Man, No Way Home, Incredibles, lots of stuff.
I think he did Jurassic World this year as well.
Yes.
He does a lot of stuff.
So much stuff.
I don't know where he finds the time. I was like, you had time to direct something and make music for every big movie coming out?
So it's only 50 minutes. He's like, I gotta get back to doing these scores. It's written by Heather Quinn and Peter Cameron. Heather Quinn wrote for Hawkeye, and Peter Cameron wrote for Carnival Row, WandaVision, and Moon Knight. So, MCU gang.
Gang.
The not movie special stars Gael Garcia Bernal, Laura Donnelly, and Harriet Sansom Harris. And then, some other people pop up in the 50 minutes to do scary things. It is based on the Marvel Comics of the same name, Werewolf by Night, and the IMDb summary states, follows a lycanthrope superhero who fights evil using the abilities given to him by a curse brought on by his bloodline. I feel like they took that from the comic.
That's a very vague.
Because it doesn't, he's a lycanthrope, but it doesn't really...
Is he fighting evil?
Not really. It doesn't really pertain to the special that much.
He's a... No, I'm not gonna say what he's doing because I feel like part of the fun for
you could say he's fighting evil.
Well, no, Well, I wouldn't say that that's what he's doing.
Yeah, fair.
But I'm not going to say what his actual motivation is, because going into this, part of the fun for me was that I thought that I was getting into something like that, and I got something very different. And I liked that I was surprised by what the story actually was.
Okay.
And I found it very interesting. I loved the entirety of this whole thing. I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun, and I think it did a great job paying homage to old monster flicks.
So most of that is how I feel, except for I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. I definitely didn't dislike it. But first thing I want to say is I'm always happy when Marvel mixes it up.
Oh, they definitely mixed it up
I'm
this
so
time.
glad that we can get past they do the same thing every time.
No, because now we're entering an age of, this is too different, and so it's bad.
True. It's like, I didn't want a sitcom. I said to do something different, but I meant what I wanted.
Yeah.
Not something else.
But that's another story.
Yeah. So them going old school monster movie with it,
Retro.
I think that's cool. I feel like almost similar to the way I feel with the beginning of WandaVision, is that they're really good at doing the style that they're doing.
Yep.
But the thing that they're doing isn't my favorite thing. So like, I really like sitcoms. I don't really like 1950s, 1960s sitcoms.
Sure.
But WandaVision was great at that. So I was like, this is a really good.
It's like you can.
But it's not my favorite thing about what you're doing.
The effort and the talent and like what they're doing.
I like horror. I don't watch the old
Boris
Universal
Karloff
monster movies. Yeah. But they did a really good job of getting that kind of style.
That's definitely what they marketed this as. And they gave you exactly what they marketed it as.
Except for the fact that he's a werewolf for maybe 10 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
This is also a 54-minute thing.
I was going to say, to be fair, that is a fifth of the runtime, but you don't name it Werewolf by Night and not
I don't want to watch
a
werewolf movie where there's a werewolf for a fifth of the runtime.
No, that's fair. I want more
werewolf.
Than that. Especially if you label it werewolf.
Yeah, at the risk of sounding like Gabby, where's my wolf at?
I think I was okay with that because I felt like even though Jack Russell, who is the main character.
Great name, by the way.
Why is he named after a dog?
Because he's a werewolf. It's cute.
I don't know. Like, this was a great introduction for Jack Russell. I was more excited at the fact that they were introducing Elsa Bloodstone, who is a character I've not read comics with her in it, but I've read about in passing because I know that she's associated with Blade.
Got it. Okay.
So when they said that this is Elsa Bloodstone, who I did not know was going to be in this, I was like, we're really delving into the monster side of things now. And I thought that this was an excellent way of introducing monsters into the MCU, but also in a way that it's not really required watching. You're not gonna watch Blade and be like, I have to go watch Werewolf by Night to understand that there are monsters in this universe. Like, no, but I just thought that this was a good way of being like, no, they exist.
Here they are.
They're here, and Ted.
I love Ted. Ted was great, and he's kind of how I felt. Like how you felt about Bloodstone is how I felt seeing Ted, because he's a character that I've only seen in one thing, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, which despite everything about who I am, I don't really like that story. But I haven't seen him in a lot of Marvel stuff.
I feel like he's one of those like real D-list, E-list characters.
Yeah, like he pops up. Ironically, he had a movie like before
Years
the
ago,
MCU was a thing. Wild. But he was great. I was like, I want more Ted. They did a really good job. Visually, he was phenomenal.
Watching this felt like a tease to like what could be coming from this part of the universe, because I finished watching it and was like, I want more Jack, and I want more Elsa, and I want more Ted.
Got it.
Like, it was like, this is a taste of what the monster side of this universe is going to be, and I'm already very interested in it. And I think that they did a great job of paying homage to the style that they were trying to emulate. I thought it was great to see practical old school effects mixed in with modern day technology and the way that movies look nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, the strobing lights and like using darkness to try and like what darkness was kind of used back in the day to cover up like really cheap looking effects. Nowadays, we don't really use those cheap looking effects, but that use of the strobe light still looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
And even the look of the werewolf. Like, you would anticipate that this is Marvel. Like, we're just going to get a CGI werewolf and be done with it.
Right.
But they went for a real old school, back in the days of not having CGI werewolf.
It looks super old school.
Yeah, a person in a suit. But it looks cool. And it looks good. It doesn't look like a cheap werewolf suit.
No.
It fits in with the contemporary look. And I think that normally these things would come off cheesy in modern filmmaking. But it works here. Somehow it works here.
It's very easy to toe that line. Well, not easy to toe that line, but like, it would be easy for it to cross over into too cheesy,
Yeah.
considering what they're doing.
Especially in this genre. Yeah.
Yeah, but they did a good job of getting the style without the worst parts of that time.
It's not like corny looking.
Yeah.
It looks cool. Like when they do the close up on the werewolf's face and it's still the strobing lights, but when the light is hitting his face, I'm like, oh, that still looks like really, really cool. I don't know what that'll look like in color.
Right.
But in black and white, it looks really, really dope.
I think black and white was a good choice for this. It really felt the style more. Also, way more blood than I expected when I turned on Disney Plus.
That's so true. But it's in black and white, so.
Exactly. So it doesn't look as, if that was all red, it'd be whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yo, that's actually one of my favorite shots of
Which one?
of the show.
When the camera?
Yeah, where the camera's going through and he's fighting all those people and the door is slowly closing, so you're
That was
losing
a really good
light.
one. Yeah, that was really
And
cool.
then there's like blood splattering across the screen. I was like, yo.
Marvel, y'all getting down like this?
I kind of had a feeling though, because earlier on when Elsa like cuts the back of somebody's leg, you get that blood splatter that goes across.
Yeah, I noticed when we started getting blood splatter and, arrows going through people's face and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's because of the way that a lot of superhero movies will do things is we'll do things that would cause so much blood, but there won't be blood. Like,
Thor.
No, that was gold blood.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what.
well, Thor is actually an example I thought of when Hela takes his eye.
Oh.
And it's gone, but he's not
There's no
really
blood.
bleeding. But the main example is Killmonger slicing someone's throat when the Dora Milaje are fighting him. And then she just kind of falls because we're not going to show you all that blood that would be there. That's horrifying. So then when this was doing it, I was like, oh, okay, Kevin,
We're doing it.
do your thing.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say is that like we've talked about the visuals, like how much it works. But yeah, the cinematography on top of that is just really good too. Like it's so good. And like you said, the black and white visual, the contrast, the stylization, like it looks so good. And I really like the production design specifically of the maze. Like when they're walking through it. And there's like one shot where like he's walking past something and I was like, that looks like a wall that's just like an LED panel.
Okay.
Like it's just like a light and he walks past it and I'm like, that's really cool looking and it's a really cool design feature to have inside of this maze. The maze itself isn't, usually when you think of a maze, it's like just a bunch of bushes.
Right.
And this looked like, I was like, wait, are they about to enter like a small city? Like what's going on here? This is really cool looking. Because that's not what I was imagining when they were like, you'll have to go into the maze.
Right.
Like,
You're like, oh yeah, hedge mage. It's
yeah,
shiny.
I had a certain image in my head and that's not what it was. And I was like, that's really cool. There's like a mausoleum at one point and that was a really interesting design as well. And Ted's design was really cool too.
That was probably my favorite thing about it. The visuals on Ted. Do we want to not say who he is?
No.
Okay. It's like, I went in ready to call him Ted.
I'm calling him Ted.
For like, letting them have the reveal if they decide to watch it.
His name is Ted.
Got it.
He likes being called Ted. If you're his friend, you call him Ted.
Yeah. It's a great name.
It is a great name. Also, I did like, there is a transition to color at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I did really like the music cue that they used for it. It was just so perfect. And I was just like, this is such a good, like it's a good story and it's also a good homage.
Okay. So you're saying a lot about it. So I got to ask, on the Yahya Abdul-Mateen second to Martin Scorsese scale, where are we putting this?
I'm putting it as cinema.
It's definitely more cinema than clown work.
It definitely not too much clown work.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this clown. I mean, there are things about it that are clowny because
I really just said that so that I could hear you say clown work.
Yeah, got to throw out the clown work.
The action in this was really good too. Did not mention that.
Yeah, I liked it once. That last 10 minutes was my favorite of the action.
Even before that, the action choreography,
There's some
that
cool fights.
Elsa was doing, those fight scenes were really, really good.
Yeah, I think I'm just at a point where it's like, for me to watch a Marvel thing and really be like blown away by the action, I think I have to be invested in a different kind of way. Because part of the reason why I wish he was a werewolf more is that these characters didn't do a whole lot for me. Like, he was nice, but I was like,
I really liked his makeup.
Oh, yeah, his face, that was cool.
Yeah, his face paint was really
I was like, yeah,
really
you're
cool.
a nice dude, but, kill somebody. Colin,
Me.
you like wolves in a manner of speaking.
You could say that.
You weren't interested in this at all?
He's not interested in Marvel.
That's the thing. I'm not interested in Marvel, and I'm not interested in
Old horror. No.
So you put those together. Like, I might watch it, especially knowing that it's only 50 minutes. Like,
It's quick.
There's a lot to be said for that. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's the kind of thing I might watch it, go, that was cool, and then never think about it again. But there's nothing wrong with that.
Fair. I recommend it, not to you, but to people who like old cinema, or they like Marvel but wish it was more violent, checks both those boxes. Any final thoughts on The Werewolf by Night?
I think it's great. I think that I will be adding it to my Halloween rotation.
Nice.
I hate saying it's pretty high on my Marvel ranking because, like, it's really not. There have been 30-something projects. So, like,
They have a lot.
even if it's high up, it's always, like, high mid.
Yeah.
Because my top 10 is pretty locked in right now. It's pretty hard to break that top 10.
Yeah.
But it's really, really good.
I dig it. Well, that is that. Colin,
Me.
did you watch 10 minutes of a thing?
I did.
Hey, look at you being on it.
Yeah.
10-minute takes with Colin.
Well, I am disappointed in myself
Oh, no.
because I think they got me and I hate it.
Who's they?
I don't want
got
this
you?
to be who I am.
What's happening?
Clown work. No, I'm kidding. I just wanted to say clown work. I watched most of the first episode of Miss Marvel.
Oh, they got
Colin,
him. They
I got-
got him.
What did I just say?
I got to the part
10
I
minutes,
am-
Colin.
No.
I know. But
Here's the thing.
I got to the part that I'm least interested in, so it may dial down from there.
I'm so
But
okay, well, give us your take on the first
Here's
10
the
minutes.
thing. We keep saying that he should only watch the first 10 minutes. I don't agree.
That's the thing.
No. I feel like 10-minute takes should be, the goal is to watch 10 minutes. But if
Okay.
he likes more than 10 minutes, that clearly says something about the show.
see,
That's good.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was my thing with this. Is
Cool.
like I told myself, okay,
I feel
it's
like
been 10 minutes, I can stop, but also I kind of don't want to.
Okay.
So
I
I
think
kept
that
going.
says more about the show than just him being like, well, I cut it off at 10 minutes and that was it.
And it's probably going to make for better description of the show.
it also just,
obviously.
to me, like 10-minute takes to me, the point of this is, how well do you use that first 10 minutes? For
Okay.
me, you
Right.
know? And
They used it well enough that he kept going.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's what I find so interesting is when you can hook me in that first 10 minutes enough
Okay.
that I want to watch the rest of it.
So tell me where was it at after 10 minutes? Like, did you check that 10 minutes had passed?
Yes, I
Okay.
checked at 10 minutes.
So what point of the episode is that?
Kamala and Bruno in a shop, maybe?
Okay.
They're looking at her costume.
They're
'cause she
talking
has
about
to
going to the
finish
thing.
it. They're talking about going to the thing.
Got it.
Yeah. I haven't actually finished the episode because I had to leave before that. But,
But you're in it, you think?
well, I don't know.
I was wondering
mean,
what was
right
taking him so long to
now,
get into the car.
I think... No, that wasn't actually what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think I will probably be less in it once things start happening.
I feel like you'll still be into it because this is not so much a superhero show as it is a coming of age show.
We'll see. I'll see how it goes. Like once she started picking up the thing and the lights started flickering, I thought, oh, all right, we're getting into that stuff. And then she's going to get into a fight that has nothing to do with her and there's going to be a villain and I just don't care. But maybe not. I have no idea. I mean, I'm already at the, like, I don't want to watch the AdventureCon portion, but I'm going to have to watch it.
The AdventureCon portion is adorable.
For you. Yeah, I mean, I like her a lot, and I like how little focus there has been on superheroes. Like, the focus that has been on superheroes makes sense to me because it's just, of course, they're going to have fans.
Yeah.
But I like that it's been more about her and what she's going through, and like the super big, like, everything is falling apart moment in the first episode is you can't go to a convention. And I really like that. It's not, this person is going to destroy the world. And we might build up to that, I don't know. But it's like, I like that so much of this is just focused on her and what she wants and is not focused on the larger universe or a villain or an evil or whatever the fuck.
It will build up to, hey, somebody wants to destroy the world, but also that feels so much less important than everything else going on in the show.
I mean, not to me, but to a lot of people probably, yeah. I was like, yo, don't let these niggas destroy the world.
I feel, no, that's not what I meant. I meant like the show itself sees Kamala's journey and discovering herself and her family history. That's far more important to the show than the villains who are
like the cultural stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is way more important to the show than here are some villains that want to destroy the world. And I think that's one of the main reasons that people have issues with those villains in this show, because they're really not that important in that sense of things.
Yeah, they could have been anybody.
Yeah, but when it comes to her story as a person, they're pretty significant in that form.
Colin, I think you will like it.
I do too.
And I think that the episodes I don't like are the ones that you'll like the most.
That seems to be how it goes with things.
I think episode 2 was my least favorite. So I think you should keep going because you'll probably enjoy that.
All right.
It was episode 2 when Kamran shows up?
Episode 2 is when he becomes important.
Okay, got it. Yeah, you should keep going. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
I mean, I wrote that in the thing. So I
Right.
put it on the list. I was like, Colin, I think you'll like this. But I'm glad they kind of got you.
We'll see how it
They
goes.
might have you. But that's good. That's been a take, not 10 minutes, because Colin It's just
I
playing
think,
fast and loose with the rules.
Nah, I feel like the rule should be if he wants to watch past 10, he should, so that he can tell the audiences that they got him.
You have not understood about me when it comes to this podcast specifically.
Okay.
You give me a rule 9 times out of 10, I'm going to ignore it. I don't care.
Did this.
I don't
Dallas,
care.
you know what the thing is? Colin is the exception in all things.
Right. Like,
He's
to
the
me, you're right. I can give myself a rule, but I also, like, and I recognized that I had hit 10 minutes and was like, okay, I've hit 10 minutes. But I was like, but honestly, I kind of want to keep watching this, so I'll just keep watching it.
And I like that better as a showcase of the show itself.
That is much better for, like, the purposes of discussing the show. But also, I just want to make it clear, audience, that Colin is the one who's been saying, no, I'm just going to watch 10 minutes. If you put the thing on the list, I'm going to stop after 10 minutes.
At the same time,
because my thing.
That's the thing.
Better.
I don't think that this takes away from the 10-minute take, because if anything, to me, this validates the 10-minute take as look what they did with their 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They got him interested.
As opposed to so many other things that I've watched where, like House of the Dragon, I almost fell asleep, right? It's like
business meetings and stuff.
It was a business meeting. It was a business meeting and a history lesson. And it's like, okay, first impression, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate first impression. 10 minutes is all you get. So impress me. What are you doing? And Miss Marvel did things that I happen to like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of things don't. So I still think this... I don't think this invalidates the 10-minute take, because they still hooked me in that 10 minutes.
Right.
Because in everything else that he stops at 10 minutes, it's like, well, why did this work? Why did this not work for you in that 10 minutes versus Ms. Marvel, which managed to get you 10 minutes and you were like, oh, I want to keep going.
Yeah.
Which I guess would mean more to me if it was all takes like House of the Dragon or like Mo. Like you were like, oh, I watched 10 minutes, I think I'm done. But then there have stuff like Gilmore Girls or Ted Lasso that you're like, okay, I kind of see what people like about this.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like they did something in the 10 minutes that you didn't like. And even then, this is really just because of how adamant you have been off mic about, I'm not going to watch more than 10 minutes.
I think that says a lot about the show, that he was willing to break his hardcore rule to continue watching it. That's kind of the point. Like,
Colin hates rules is the
that too.
thesis.
Anyway, we should move on because we have so many trailers to get through.
Yes, we do.
Oh, God, the trailer train is long.
Trailer track.
All right, we're starting with Violent Night.
John Wick, but Santa.
David Harbour is playing Santa Claus.
It was only a matter of time.
I can see it. I mean, if I had to pick a violent Santa Claus,
David Harbour's
the guy. And it looks fun. It looks silly. It looks ridiculous. I want to see it. It just looks so silly.
I'm definitely interested. This isn't one of those movies where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying to go see it, but I'm definitely like intrigued by the concept and I like it. Yeah, my little brother actually saw the trailer before me and he was like, I really want to go see this. I'm super excited about that one because it's just John Wick, but it's Santa Claus. And I was like, I haven't seen the trailer yet. And he was like, well, it starts out looking like a normal Christmas movie. And then bam, Santa Claus is beating up people. And I'm just like, what? Okay. And then I watched the trailer and he's right.
He's right. Yeah. It is directed by the guy who made, the guy who wrote Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. Do you remember that movie?
I do remember that movie because it's the one with Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. And
I didn't ever see it.
It's kind of like, it's so silly, but fun. And just.
This looks like a better movie. I'm not going to lie.
I don't know that it does to me. I like that movie, to be clear.
This trailer made a bigger impression on me than the Hansel and Gretel trailer did. This trailer, I was like, oh, this seems really unique and really original. When the Hansel and Gretel trailer came out back then, I was like, this seems like a generic fantasy movie with action in it.
I don't know that I would say this movie looks original, but it does look interesting.
Compared to other movies that come out nowadays?
Well, to me, the thing about this movie is original in the sense that, yeah, I haven't seen a movie where Santa's killing people before. But to me, this feels like now this is going to be a trend of Winnie the Pooh and apparently the Grinch and Santa, where it's like, the Grinch was already a dick, but like take these sort of characters in these beloved child stories and make them like hurt people. And like, I guess there's an audience for that. It isn't me, but.
For me, it feels more original. Hansel and Gretel felt like it was still like in that time period of when we had movies like Red Riding Hood coming out. Like we were just taking those fairy tale stories and making modern.
Brothers Grimm, I think, was another one.
Yeah, we were doing a lot of those back then, which is why Hansel and Gretel didn't stick out to me. This, I'm like, yeah, we're not seeing, we're seeing a lot of action movies in this vein, but the stories are different. Santa Claus isn't going to be chasing after somebody for killing his dog. Like, he just showed up at this house, and there are bad people here, so now I got to beat them up. Like...
Oh, not beat them up, kill them.
They got to kill them.
He is committing murder.
He's committing.
I think part of the reason why I'm not giving it originality is because 2 years ago, they made a movie kind of like this already.
Did they?
It's called Fat Man. It's about, Santa has to
I've never
basically
even
fight off people trying to kill him.
heard of this movie.
It came out during COVID, and I'm not going to say who's in it because we don't need to give that person a platform. But
Oh, wow. That's even more horrifying. That's
but yeah, it came out just a couple years ago.
like when you consider the fact that we live in an age where most people are like, oh, all there are sequels and things based on books and blah, blah, blah. This is original.
Oh.
Yeah, you see.
Unfortunate.
But
Oh, my God. Let me see.
But,
I was looking at the director and I was like, I don't know who this is. Blah, blah,
No,
blah.
no.
And
The
I went a bit
Santa.
later.
But yeah, better Santa
Oh.
in this one.
Okay.
But yeah, also it's written by the guys who made who wrote the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, and I really like those. So
Those are really good, yeah.
right. So I think it'll be fun. I'm with it.
Next trailer.
The next trailer is
Ooh, if it helps,
okay.
the budget for Fat Man was $20 million. The box office, 1.7.
Well, came
I
out
don't
during
think
COVID.
theaters were a thing when that movie came out.
Yeah, but
Even
Jesus
though how it has a box
Christ,
office.
why even put it out in a theater? if that-
Drive-ins, remember?
I did do a lot of driving in.
Next trailer. What's
Emancipation. Oh boy, it looks good. It is.
I said that I was going to stave off of slave movies. Yes, I rhymed on purpose.
Mhm.
But this one, I'm interested in because I feel like most of the time slave movies, I'm like, oh, I got to watch you like on the plantation and I have to watch all of the trauma. Yes, this is traumatic.
Yes.
But also it kind of feels like a Predator type of movie. I can't explain it. The vibe feels different.
He's hitting something with that shovel. Probably a white person.
Hopefully not his foot.
I don't think so.
Listen, I was like, you might have to break your ankle for something and I don't want to see it. But I don't know. Something about this trailer is giving me different slave movie vibes. Colin.
This looks like it's cinema and I want nothing to do with it. I just like, it looks sad. I hate that there's no color at all. Like, Jesus Christ, can we stop doing that, please? And I just like, yeah, this looks like I would watch it and I would be horribly depressed during and probably afterwards. So miss me with that. Thank you very much.
It's colored people. Anyway.
Barely.
Have you guys seen that picture of the slave with the really, really messed up back?
I think so, yes.
I know that I have. It's been a while.
That's this. He's playing that man.
Oh.
Okay.
And that's why there's that shot in the trailer of the camera behind him. They're taking a picture of his back.
Oh.
Yeah, the trauma's going to be there. But I'm going to be honest with you. Like Demi, I wasn't doing slave movies. But it's Will Smith and it's Antoine Fuqua. I'm not going to not watch a movie with Will Smith directed by Antoine Fuqua. They're so good at what they do. And last time Will Smith worked with a black director, he won an award right after slapping the coins out of somebody. So like,
who we talked about earlier in the podcast.
Right. And I just think it's so funny that right after they ban him, they're going to have to nominate him again. Because you know they will.
Here's the thing. Like, to me, I feel like this was not, I don't know when he signed on to this movie.
No, this was before the Oscars.
It was before that. Because I remember we were talking about this movie before he got
honestly,
before
it
that.
feels like they banned him from the Oscars and then he was like, all right, I'm going to do the most cinema movie I ever done in my life.
And like, I wish more people realize that's not the case. Because after this trailer came out, I was listening to podcasts. People were like, "Look what y'all made Will Smith do." He's like, "Oh, I got to do a slave movie." And I was like, "No, this was already in the works.
He had already made it.
Like, yo, the movie's coming out this year. It's clearly was already in the works.
It was probably in post-production
right
when he won the Oscar.
The Academy loves black pain.
Oh, they love giving Oscars to black people
not
who take
just
slaves.
Black pain, but we're talking slave movie. There's very little color. This is the
Oscar movie.
Oh,
yeah.
If I'm gonna be honest, if he hadn't slapped old boy, they'd already have the Oscar with his name on it.
Yeah.
Now they're just trying to decide, is it worth it to give him the Oscar?
And he can't even go. Imagine. Imagine.
Like, yo. Oh my God.
I hope he gets nominated and I hope he wins.
I hope he wins.
I don't give a shit about the Oscars, but I want to watch that specific moment when they have to announce that he won. Really, I want Chris Rock to do it.
Oh my God.
I want Chris Rock to have to announce the winner and be like, it's Will Smith. And then Jada can just come up there like, yup.
Oh my God. If Jada goes to accept the award on his behalf.
Because she's not banned, right?
No,
she didn't do
it's just him. She didn't do anything.
But yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to suffer, but I'm going to be happy about it.
Dallas, you know what? We can watch it together.
Trauma bonding.
Honestly, that may be the way. It's on Apple TV, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So you can just like sit here, you can get your favorite snacks, you can be in it, make sure you're in a good mood that day, and just like, okay, we're ready for it.
We'll be a good mood afterwards when we just, watch something else.
Oh, absolutely. Then you have to watch like the most fun thing you've ever seen in your life just to remind you that
it'll be December, again. So there's plenty of stuff that'll be coming out.
Excellent. Perfect.
Also, Mustafa Shakir, who plays Bushmaster in Luke Cage, is in this movie. Nice. I didn't know that until right now, but now I'm even more excited because he's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good. I feel like I'm interested because Yes, I don't want to watch another slave movie, but also it don't look like 12 Years a Slave or like Harriet. So I have seen 12 Years a Slave, and I think it's a phenomenal movie. I will probably never in my life watch it again.
Also, Wikipedia describes it as a 2022 American historical action thriller film.
See, exactly.
So I think, yeah, it's going to be Prey with slaves, which wild sentence to say, but I watch it.
All right, next trailer.
Okay.
The other end of the spectrum?
Yeah.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Black Power. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
A different type of Black Power.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I didn't need this trailer, but you know, they have to release it so that people know what day it comes out.
Yeah. I was going to watch it already. It looks really dope. I'm very excited. There's so many things about it. Like, ooh, what's that? Shuri. Ooh, Ironheart in the suit. Shuri.
Bam.
Presumably in the suit. Everybody's saying that Shuri. That's Shuri,
it's
right?
Not. I'm very certain that is Ironheart in the suit. Oh,
no, not the flying suit.
Not the flying suit. Sorry, in the Black Panther suit.
Yeah.
I'm also very certain that it's Shuri.
Okay.
And what's tipping it for me is the dots on the forehead are very similar to the way that Shuri does her makeup.
Right.
In like posters and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it seems like it's very much a Shuri costume.
It looks dope.
Less so than Nakia. Nakia would be the only other person who I would think would be in the suit, but I'm very certain that it's Shuri.
I feel like Nakia should have been in the suit.
I also feel like Nakia should have been in the suit, but it's fine. We're gonna keep it pushing.
I thought Ryan Coogler said multiple people were gonna put on the suit in that movie.
I don't know. I
didn't hear that.
Can't remember, but I thought he said that.
I'd be okay with that too. Yeah, I'm excited. The trailer looks good. These are some of the best trailers Marvel has put out, I will say. All the Black Panther trailers, even from the first movie.
The first one was fire.
First movie and second movie had some of the best Marvel trailers ever. Namor looks amazing.
Yeah.
Especially flying. His flying scenes are so cool. Somebody pointed out that he flies like a hummingbird, which is really dope.
I hate it. I hate those stupid little ankle wings.
Hey, that's a comic accurate thing, though,
I know,
bro. You can't.
And it's just, I've said this before. I don't like Namor in the comics. Not just because he has these goofy little
You don't like his
pixie wings.
personality.
He's a bad person. He's a dick, and I don't like him. But I think I'm going to like this version better because he's Latinx. He's not just, I don't know if Namor's white. He's like water.
He is very racially ambiguous, in my opinion.
He's water race. But
he's Atlantean is what he is in the comics. Now he's from Telecon.
Right. So I think, if anyone can make me like this character or hate him in a different way, it's Ryan Coogler.
He's an anti-hero, according to Tenoch Huerta.
Okay.
The small amounts of dialogue that they've been giving us in these trailers, like even this trailer felt more like a teaser trailer because, again, it was more vibes than story, if anything else.
Caught a vibe.
Caught a vibe, indeed.
I'm never going to know the next line of that song.
I think it's Baby, Are You Coming for the Ride?
That sounds right.
I like that the trailer starts off with we're continuing this exploration of what it means to be a monarch. And Namor's line in the trailer is something along the lines of,
only the most broken people can be great leaders.
Which is kind of similar to what T'Chaka said in the first movie.
T'Chaka
You're
said,
a good man, but it's hard for a good man to be king.
Yeah, it's like you have to break yourself in order to be a good ruler for everybody, because in the end, there's something that you have to sacrifice as a monarch.
Right.
Something that you want, something that you need has to be sacrificed. And that must be breaking for somebody, for any person, really. And I've never really thought about it in that way. And it's very sad, honestly. When I heard that line, I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to agree with you or not on that philosophy. But hey, Ryan Coogler gonna give you something to think about, ain't he?
That's what he does.
That's what he does. Angela Bassett continuing to act her behind off with these dialogue moments.
As always.
And then M'Baku, they call him Kulkan.
That was interesting.
That's a Mayan god from actually what I hear.
Okay.
It's an actual Mayan god. So that seems to be the culture that they are drawing from for Talokan.
That's interesting. I'm glad to see M'Baku more involved in all of the goings on with Wakanda because he's amazing. Yeah, it just looks super dope. It's not much else I need to say about it. I'm going to watch it.
Who's going to see it? I already got tickets. I got a ticket for a double feature the day it comes out. I'm ready to go.
I'm excited.
I'm going to try and get you guys to go see it in IMAX with me at some point.
Feels like that kind of movie.
We're doing it big, guys. It's Black Panther.
I'm excited.
And it's the second longest Marvel movie ever.
Oh.
2 hours and 41 minutes.
Wait, how long was Infinity War? Like 2:30?
3 hours and 5.
No.
No. Infinity War was 2 hours and 37 or something like that.
Okay. Look at that.
Endgame was 3 hours and 5.
Yeah. Give us our long movie for the Blacks.
Mostly because I feel like the first hour is going to be us dealing with the grief of losing T'Challa and Chadwick.
Crying.
And then the last 2 hours is the actual movie itself.
I'll take that time to cry.
I'm excited. I'm super excited. And you guys will be able to see Dallas and Colin's live reactions to the trailer when we do our Throwback Thursday for Black Panther.
Yo, Colin, I'm going to call you anti-black so much.
Oh my God.
You
shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
You shouldn't, but you absolutely have the right to.
You shouldn't, because these jokes are getting real inappropriate.
This is the best kind of joke.
I know. Somebody's going to take these out of context one day, and we're going to have to be like, listen to the whole podcast.
The whole podcast doesn't really...
It doesn't.
It's not like we give a disclaimer every time we say it. So if you listen to the whole podcast, that doesn't really...
We do laugh when we say it, though.
But we're clearly, we're clearly very pro-black.
And usually there's
POC,
me being like,
BIPOC.
guys, please, afterwards.
Yeah.
Anyway, next trailer.
We love the blacks.
Well, all of us are black, so yeah.
Yes.
Next trailer.
Super Mario Brothers, the movie, or the Super Mario Brothers movie is, I think, the title of it.
Yes, I think is the title.
Yo, this trailer, that opening scene looks so dope.
The animation is fire.
It looks so, like, Bowser coming in with the ship, the fire dropping, the little penguin dudes, Kari Payton's in it. I'm excited.
Jack Black sounding nothing like what I've ever heard him do before.
I forgot that he was playing Bowser. So after the trailer came out, I was like, who is this? Because, I love voice acting. It's a whole thing for me. So I usually can pick out, like, Kari Payton easy. It's funny because Charlie Day, he didn't even need to say anything as Luigi. And I was like, that's Charlie Day. Because he's running from something. I was like, ah! And
they're doing like Luigi's Mansion, which is interesting.
Are they?
Well, I don't think they are, but that's what it looked like.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe if this movie does well, maybe they'll make a Luigi's Mansion movie.
Oh, a horror movie with Charlie Day as Luigi. I'm watching it. Yeah, it looks dope. I'm very excited. I was not excited. I was just like, cool. Why not make a Mario movie? We got that live action one we don't talk about. Give us an animated one.
Yeah.
And I'm with it.
I mean,
I think I liked the live action one when I was a child.
That's fair.
But we like lots of things when we're children.
It has a cult following. There are people who legitimately like it.
I remember nothing about that movie as an adult, so...
I've never seen it, and that's okay.
I think I saw it on TV once.
Don't make me do a throwback. Don't make me.
You know what? You said it, and now I feel like I got to make you guys do it. But we already have a lot of... I feel like we already have a lot of throwbacks for next year, so I don't know if I want to add more to that list.
We don't need to.
It's a long, long list.
Yeah, like 95% of this trailer, hell yeah. And then Chris Pratt speaks. Okay, here's the thing. It's hard, right? Because I already don't like Chris Pratt as a person, but then it's just like...
Or whatever he's putting off his persona to be.
Yes. Yeah, that. All the things with him and his brother and all that. But then it's like clown work. You didn't even try. You sound like you with slight New York in there.
And a little deeper. Yeah, I don't know. I saw somebody argue that nobody wants to listen to a 2-hour movie of
yes, they do.
Mario speaking with that Italian accent.
We've played multiple games that are longer than 2 hours, and we fucking love it every time.
He doesn't say dialogue for 2 hours.
Yes, he does. Sometimes he does.
For full 2 hours?
Well, I mean, if you cut all the clips together, maybe not, but like Charles Martinet has read aloud an entire long-ass book in the Mario voice, and people were loving it. Like,
here's the thing.
Fine.
Some people.
Yeah, I'm like, Super Mario fans were loving it. It's like, would the general audience love it? I feel like there was a way to recreate it where it was both the comic book, the video game voice, but also something new and different that wasn't quite that.
And I feel like that's what every other actor, as far as I've heard, because people have made comparisons to the international versions. And you listen to those and you can hear that they sound like Mario. This doesn't sound like Mario. This sounds like Chris Pratt.
Like there's a way to meet in the middle, I feel like, that wasn't attempted or used, perhaps.
Okay.
But I don't care enough about Super Mario Brothers to really be involved in that discourse. So
I don't care at all. It's an adaptation at the end of the day.
It is.
So, you're going to do what you're going to do with your version of it.
You are, but I think there is something to be said about like Charlie Day sounds like Luigi, even though we know it's Charlie Day.
I don't think he does.
Well, we don't, because he doesn't speak.
That's true. But his reaction sounded like Luigi.
To me, it just sounded like Charlie Day. But Charlie Day Chris Pratt also has a recognizable voice. But Charlie Day's voice is like, I can pick that voice out of the crowd.
It's true.
And if he doesn't sound like Luigi, I don't care. Like, I just want to watch the movie. For me, it's more, if you get the character right, then the voice, like, does the character act like Mario? Does the character act like Luigi? Does he act like an Italian plumber?
I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm not a big enough fan of Super Mario Brothers to be like, these characters have personalities.
I don't know what Mario acts like.
So it's not but it's like
a thing for me.
I think the thing that bothers me is this is probably going to be an isekai, and that just makes me really upset because that means I might actually have to see Chris Pratt.
It's going to be a what?
Isekai.
Is that where you get sucked into another world?
Yes.
That's what that genre of anime is, and that's what a lot of people are thinking this is going to be.
You think it's going to start out live action and Chris Pratt is Mario and he accidentally gets put into this animated world?
Either start out or end that way, yes.
Oh.
Because he shows up through a pipe and says, what is this? He's never seen Mushroom Kingdom.
Right.
So that's what the thought is that it's probably going to be an isekai and that Chris Pratt is going to get sucked into
I'm kind of hoping they don't do that because that feels too much like the Lego movie, which he is also the star of.
But also, they could just take animated Mario
from a
the
different
plumber
world
from the regular world and put him in Mushroom Kingdom.
But it's an animated regular world.
It doesn't need to be live action for that.
It doesn't.
And I don't want that.
Yeah, no.
Wait, animated Mario from the... How does that work? Oh, you mean like the character?
Like an animated version of like New York or wherever he's from.
Oh,
like
New
he's
City?
a plumber.
Yeah, he could be in like New Donk City or something.
I don't think Mushroom Kingdom has plumbers. I don't know why this man is there.
I don't think there's a reason. He just is.
Yeah. So, he got there somehow.
I mean, I guess if he's living in like New Donk City, I could see that. And then he gets taken from there to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Maybe he's there.
Especially with as good as this animation is, I don't want to be pulled out of that into a real world scenario.
Yeah, I'm hoping they don't do that. I don't know. I have no idea.
Because the animation is sick.
Yeah, the visuals are gorgeous.
Dope.
It looks lovely.
Yeah.
And I am both pleased and disappointed that I don't hate Toad's voice. Because I feel like you're supposed to hate Toad's voice. It's Toad. You're supposed to despise his voice. It's awful. But I respect that Keegan-Michael Key went for like this isn't going to kill your ears, but...
That was an interesting one because he's doing something with his voice that made it not super recognizable to me either.
Yeah, if I didn't know who that was, I wouldn't know who that was.
I was like, who?
But I have kept an eye on this cast for this movie, so it's like I knew who that was.
I'm curious about a lot because we still don't see Peach. We still don't see Donkey Kong. I'm like, what are they going to do?
I'm excited to see Anya Taylor-Joy do this voice, especially after watching Amsterdam.
Also, Charles Martinet, is that how you say it? Martinet?
I think it's Martinet, but I don't know.
He's doing some kind of cameo in it, and I don't know what it is.
That's good.
Shout out to that.
Next trailer?
Yes.
What's next on the list? Wheel of Time?
Nope, Legend of Vox Machina.
Oh, my turn. Legend of Vox Machina. Let's go, bro. I'm so excited. I did not think season 2 was going to be coming as soon as it is. January 2023. I'm so stoked. And they released this clip a few hours before Critical Role, which was dope. So it's just like, yes, I can watch this clip and then head straight into Critical Role.
Is Legend of Vox Machina like an all at once or a weekly?
Weekly. We get 3 episodes a week.
Gotcha.
We get pods. I love the first season so much. And I say this as somebody who wasn't like a super big Critical Role fan. And I still haven't actually watched the entirety of the Vox Machina campaign. I am like at the very, very beginning of it and I need to jump back into it. But I just really fell in love with those characters. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because having only watched that one season of that animated show and not even watching their campaign, those characters have popped up in the episode of Critical Role that aired that night. Okay. So it was just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I love these characters so much just based off of that one season of television. It's so good. This season 2 clip, I'm assuming, is the first few minutes of season 2 because season 1 left off on a cliffhanger. Animation still looks amazing. I love the way that this show is written. And I'm so excited to have these characters back. I loved seeing Pike have her armor transformation, which was super cool. Grog is just such a lovable himbo. I love.
Is that the big dude?
Yeah, that was that 2 shoulders she was on because they're besties. Yeah, it's going to be fun seeing all this dragon carnage that's going down. I've heard a little bit about this part of the campaign. But the fun thing is that because I don't know, I just get to rock with it. I just get to learn all this stuff. But I know that they are being attacked by the Chroma Conclave, which is this group of dragons. So I'm excited to see how this arc goes. And we'll see. I don't know if I don't think I'm going to get through that session or that campaign of Critical Role in time for this season to actually come out. But I am glad that's coming out in January because that's so soon. They also got picked up for season 3, which is nice. Even more dope. I think it's just really helpful that they had already crowdfunded their show before they even got picked up by a network or a streaming service. So it's like, yeah, we already have the money, so we can basically do what we want. And this company is just going to distribute the show for us. So nice. I'm glad that it's going much faster than like, I feel like most streaming service shows do. I feel like a lot of the times I'm like, I know it's coming out next year, but I feel like I have to wait like a year and a half more so than a year. Right. Whereas this one was, the first season came out January 2022. And we're getting season 2 January 2023.
Yeah, right on schedule.
I also really love this voice cast now. In the time since I watched the first season, I have fallen in love with this cast of people. So I'm super stoked to see what they have in store for us for season 2. I'm also curious as to whether it'll be longer, but I won't get my hopes up because season 1 was only 12 episodes.
Okay. Oh, so they ran for like 4 weeks.
Yep.
I remember that now. Yes. It was like, oh, this is already all the way out because they released it so fast.
It's not like once a week, but also still kind of once a week. It's dope. It's fun. Also, they do this really cool thing that since Critical Role is so big on Twitch, they do this thing where, and I wonder if they'll do it for season 2. They probably will. They would do watch-alongs for season 1 where the show would come out on like Friday. Mm-hmm. And then on Monday or Tuesday, they would do a watch-along where you could watch on Amazon Prime and have like the commentary of like, they would have several of the cast members on like their set. And they would watch the episode and talk about the making of the episode as they would watch it. And then afterwards, they would do like questions and answers and stuff like that.
Dope. I like stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's kind of the fun of being in that community. There's a lot of stuff that you can do within that community. Like even with their show Critical Role, like they have a show, Four-Sided Die, where they just talk about what's been going on Critical Role.
Okay.
Where it's like, okay, well, now we're going to talk about like our characters and what we think our characters have been going through and how this, how things have been going up until this episode. Also answering questions from fans, and they make games out of it too. And then sometimes they also play board games at the end of the show. So it's really dope.
Nice.
Very interactive, very fun.
We love the interactivity.
We do. So if you don't actually want to get into like Dungeons and Dragons stuff, you could just watch Legend of Vox Machina and still have that very interactive like cast and crew behind the scenes look at how the show is made and stuff like that.
Nice.
So next trailer. I think that one is Wheel of Time.
Yes, moving on to the live action side of Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Wheel of Time.
Colin, Wheel of Time.
I don't like the way this trailer starts.
I love that recap.
I
think
so
it's
mad. I
hilarious.
think it's so stupid.
It's so funny to me. Because they really were like season 1 recap and season 2 sneak preview. And
they did do that.
And the recap is all of season 1 fast forwarded. It's just like, it is a recap. It is indeed a recap.
Did you want to remember what season 1 was about? No. Did you want to have a seizure? Yes. All right, let's go. I have no idea where this is going, but I know that they're introducing some new people with really cool visual designs, and that's cool. I don't know. I'm excited to find out where this is going. I don't know how long they can play this game of like button, who's got the button, but...
Are they still playing the game of button, who's got the button? I thought we established who the chosen one was last season.
I don't know, because I feel like they haven't yet answered what is going on with everybody else.
And they haven't answered that, no.
Until I know what that is, I can't be sure. Because, like, there was that guy who was the false dragon in season 1. So, like, clearly some people just have weird shit going on.
Oh, they all have weird stuff going on.
Right, and that's what's confusing to me is, like, how much weird shit do you have to have going on to be the chosen one?
There's the guy who can, like, talk to wolves and is, like, almost a werewolf. And then you've got the girl who's really, really good at magic. And then you've got, like...
wolf content going on today.
Yeah.
They're in vogue.
Supernatural creatures, what can we say? This is one of those things, and I feel the same way about the Legend of Vox Machina sneak preview, where it's like, I really like the first season. I don't know what's going to happen in the second season. This teaser does not tell me anything that's going to happen in this second season, except for like maybe a small little like vague hint at something. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited about seeing these characters again because I really liked them the first time, and I really liked the story that you were telling. So I'm ready to continue going on the ride. I'm excited that this is coming back so soon. Also, I love Rosamund Pike, and I love her character on the show, and I'm really, really excited to have her back.
I'm mixing up my fantasy things. This was the one with the really scary black dude who was going to kill them because they did magic wrong.
Is like, this?
He's against the Aes Sedai?
Yes. The really religious-looking one.
Yeah.
Like, he's not religious, but he looks like a religious man.
Or the kind of like religious fanaticism type thing. Yeah, I want to know more about that and stuff.
Oh man, I forgot. Yeah, he was the one. That was when the werewolf guy realized that he could talk to wolves. And stuff.
Right. Yeah,
because he was like scarring up his back and stuff.
Oh yeah.
See, this is us recapping season 1. As this is a proper recap. Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about that guy. I'm gonna have to rewatch season 1 before because I remember the end of season 1, but I don't really remember much of.
Straight up, the only thing I remember is like the last shot, the last scene of like, oh, something's coming.
Ooh.
But
oh yeah, the tidal wave thing.
Right, like they drowned a little girl, and also there are people coming, and they're gonna be a problem. Like, I want to know.
Man, a lot was going on with that show.
Yeah, I'm
excited. Yeah, the season 2 teaser doesn't really show us much of anything, but I'm excited because man, the potential of what could be. It's gonna be hype. What's next up?
Speaking of wolves,
Wolfpack.
Paramount Plus. To me, take it away.
I'm so excited because I found out this is not a Teen Wolf spinoff, so I don't have to remember anything from Teen Wolf, and I can just watch this show blind. Yeah, I'm just excited about Sarah Michelle Gellar being back in supernatural television. I was super excited to see her in the teaser. I'm curious as to whether or not she is a werewolf or if she is a werewolf hunter. If this is Buffy the Werewolf Slayer, I'm excited. But I'm also excited at the idea of her being a werewolf too. It can go either way. I don't care. Yeah, it looks good. It looks like Teen Wolf, but hey, this is 10 years later, so all of our visuals have been upgraded.
Fair. It has that vibe. I was getting MTV, CW, Wolf drama vibes.
These are based off of books, which is that they've also made that very clear in recent marketing. They're like, these are based off of books. This is not a spinoff of Teen Wolf. It just has the same producer, which is why they are kind of heavily weighing off of Teen Wolf's success.
Got it. I was very confused.
I am excited mostly because of Sarah Michelle Gellar.
The guy who wrote the books that this is based on has been described by the Vancouver Sun as one of Canada's leading writers of erotica.
Yay! Demi's watching porn.
I love
No,
that
I'm
for him.
not. That's not going to happen because these are teenagers. This isn't Euphoria.
Yet.
I don't know how Paramount Plus gets down. I haven't had it long enough.
Then again, I mean, Teen Wolf had a decent amount of sex on it too, so.
Yeah. That's what, I don't know. Ido Van Belkom, Colin?
Uh-huh.
All right.
The guy.
Cool. Write your wolf porn, man. Get your bag.
Is that what it is?
Dude, who knows? But it could be.
He
I
likes
don't know.
wolves.
I'm going to look into it. I'm going to check it out, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. It comes out in January, so I'm going to watch it. Like I said, I'm just mostly excited about Sarah Michelle Gellar, A, returning to television, and B, returning to the supernatural genre.
Nice.
I'm wondering what their werewolf designs are going to be for this show, because I'm like, you guys can't just redo Teen Wolf. Like, it has to be a different werewolf design. Even if it is made by the same person, like, you can't just recycle the same look.
Yeah, you gotta change it a little bit.
Yeah, so I am curious as to what they decide to do for the look of the werewolves on this show.
Moving on from the trailers, Michael Waldron is writing Secret Wars, Avengers Secret Wars to be specific, in case, like me, you're kind of having a hard time keeping up with all the Avengers stuff. This is a movie. It is after Kang Dynasty?
Yep. It's
Yes.
the end of phase 6.
Yes.
Everybody's kind of saying it's like going to be the end game of that phase, of that saga.
Well, all right. Michael Waldron.
Well, everybody isn't fans. I'm not going to say that that's what Kevin Feige said. Kevin Feige didn't say nothing like that. I'm not going to put words in his mouth.
Yeah, if you go on IMDb, it just says plot under wraps.
Like most Marvel things, let's be fair here.
Yeah. He worked on Loki and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Makes sense that he would be doing Secret Wars because everything that he's done for Marvel so far has been multiverse related.
Multiversity. Yeah.
He's the multiverse guy. He's kind of... That makes sense, though. I mean, it's very smart. Just, we're writing a bunch of multiverse stuff. Let's keep this one guy keeping track of all these things.
I like that. We have consistency. We don't end up with like a Star Wars situation where we go from like Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams.
Back to J.J. Abrams.
And I got the order wrong, but you guys know. I like this guy and what he writes. I don't know if this guy personally, but I like what he writes so far. So, cool. Go ahead, man. Write that movie.
Kevin Feige also seems to really like him because I think when Kevin Feige was announced to be doing a Star Wars movie, which I'm assuming he's still doing, Michael Waldron was announced to be writing that for him too.
He is producing a Star Wars movie?
Yes, Feige is producing a Star Wars movie.
Cool.
So,
get that Disney money, Kevin.
So yeah, it makes sense that the guy who's doing all the multiverse stuff continues to write the multiverse stuff by writing Secret Wars. Because this is where all the worlds are going to be colliding, I'm assuming, based off of the comics.
I could imagine, Secret Wars is a pretty big deal. Everybody's here.
Everybody thinks Doom is going to be appearing by that point.
I would love that. Because, man, the last version of Doom we got wasn't great.
He could have been. So much potential.
He could have been. He's such a good actor.
Yeah, Toby Kebbell would have killed it as
Thank
Dr.
you for
Doom.
saying his name because I completely forgot it. Toby. They don't have a director yet, right?
No.
Because Destin is doing the other one.
The rumor is that Ryan Coogler is the one who is up for Secret Wars to direct it.
Yo. I will immediately be excited if that gets confirmed.
Yeah, that's the rumor. There is no confirmation, though, and I don't know where the rumor is from. I don't even know what the source is, but that is the rumor. Possibly due to, I would assume, how much Marvel likes Black Panther 2.
They're going to love it. We're all going to love it.
It would be fun to see
Colin.
Ryan Coogler do a project that isn't
Black.
only black people based. I didn't want to just say black, but yeah.
I know what you mean.
You know, it's got Fruitvale Station, Creed, the Black Panther movies.
Yeah.
It would be fun to see him do something that's like...
If they let him out of the black movie realm, he'll be unstoppable.
Black Panther is the gateway.
It really is. He's coming for our movies.
Nia DaCosta's doing the same thing.
We're coming to get you, whites. Anyway.
Last one.
Dune. The prequel series cast Emily Watson and Shirley Henderson. Dune the Sisterhood is the title of the thing we're talking about. Demi, take it away again.
I'm super excited because I love the Dune movie. The 2021 version, mind you, not the 1984. Mm-hmm. And also, I'm just excited that they've released information on the show. It feels like it's been a long time since we've gotten any information about it. I think that the original showrunner dropped out and then we got a new one. And then since then, it's been like pretty radio silent. Okay. So now we've actually got casting, which means we're probably getting underway to getting towards production. The show is going to be revolving around the creation of the Bene Gesserit, which is pretty cool.
Witches, right?
Yeah.
Are they witches?
They're not witches.
Why do I get witch vibes?
They are witchy.
What defines a witch? They do magic.
They don't do they do magic?
Isn't that what like the voice is and other stuff?
That's fair.
It feels magic-y.
It's, yeah, I was like going for like a superpower, but yeah, I guess so.
Pass me the water.
I just feel like when you have it like as a secretive order thing, then it's like, yeah, you're witches.
As a coven. They're a coven.
Yeah.
Okay. I can feel that. I can get behind that. This TV series is definitely associated with the movies because it is being produced by Denis Villeneuve and it's also being produced by the guy who wrote the first movie, John Spates.
It's Moaning Myrtle.
Yes, Moaning Myrtle.
I didn't know that was her.
Yeah, she's playing one of the lead
Shirley
characters.
Henderson is Moaning Myrtle.
All right.
I'm Moaning Myrtle. I didn't know that was her. I haven't seen her since whatever that was.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, like whenever, They're 2000s. Cool. Shout out to Moaning Myrtle. They're the Harkonnen sisters, apparently.
The Harkonnens, yes.
That's scary.
I think the Harkonnens were the ones who developed the Bene Gesserit order. They're involved in a sisterhood which is going to evolve into the Bene Gesserit, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yes, a secret organization of women who will go on to become the Bene Gesserit.
Yes.
The Harkonnens freak me out, man.
I don't think the Harkonnens have always been
that. Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Because we're talking like this show takes place like what, 5,000 years before? It's a crazy number of years before the actual events of Dune.
So many years.
It's a prequel for real. Like we're going years and years and millennia into the past, which is probably a good thing.
Colin, you gonna watch the Sisterhood of the Traveling Dune?
I was gonna make a Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants joke and I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Oh, there it is.
Probably not. I think the 80s Dune is lovely. I think the modern Dune is boring as shit. I'm not.
You can be wrong. It's okay.
God forbid we have different tastes.
Hey, if anybody else said something like that, you would also call us wrong. So
I'm not going to say you're wrong. It's a subjective
I've heard
thing.
you call us wrong before.
Yeah, you've called me wrong before.
That's fair. Sometimes you're wrong.
You do it.
You do it.
I mean, there's nothing in Dune that really grabs me.
Oh, it's 10,000 years before.
Even better. No, it is. I like it. To me, if you're going to do a prequel, I think it's much more interesting if the prequel divorces itself from the thing completely, and lets these people be their own people and their own stories, and it isn't trying so hard to connect things to you love this, so you'll love that. But yeah, I'm not interested because I don't find Dune that interesting.
All right, cool. Demi, any more thoughts on the Dune sisters?
Not really. I'm just super excited because anything related to the 2021 Dune, I'm down for. I mean, I own a Dune tabletop RPG game that I love and have played.
That sounds on brand for you.
It has a whole timeline of like that universe. It's great.
I need at some point some Dune thing, something that's set on Arrakis. I need them to cast Hayden Christensen so he can have a redemption arc.
He already had his redemption arc, and so Obi-Wan Kenobi was.
Did he? Well, okay, that's fair.
We need
Tatooine.
it to be sand related though, right?
No, that was fair because that was on Tatooine, wasn't it?
Some of it was on Tatooine.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever appears on Tatooine.
Oh no, see, that's what we need. We need him on Arrakis.
No.
I just want him on.
I want him eating sand.
And also, he's going to be on Ahsoka, supposedly. So he's on his redemption arc already.
With the conviction with which he delivered that line, there was something.
You might hate sand.
Yeah, like great art comes from great pain, you know?
Oh, yes. Teddy Perkins. Oh, Teddy Perkins.
Anyway.
All right. We did it. You listened. That's what you do. Thanks.
But be a part of the conversation as well. Tell us the things that you're thinking.
Please do. So our comment section be dry. Thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon, and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Demi, thank you for editing, putting us on the YouTube, repping for the Wolf Pack, but not Colin's type of Wolf Pack, like a different type of Wolf Pack. Although maybe because that guy writes wolf erotica. I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know that he writes wolf erotica.
His books are pretty wolf-centric from what I saw.
But he writes under a pen name for the erotica, so you wouldn't have seen it under that.
Got it. Thank you, Colin, for that clarification. And also for your quote-unquote 10-minute take, but really not a 10-minute take because you watched most of the episode.
It was a 10-minute take. His 10-minute take is that it's better if you keep watching after the 10 minutes.
Yeah. My 10-minute take is the 10 minutes was enthralling enough to make me want to keep going.
Yeah, thank you for that. And for repping for the gamers and the people who know what isekai means.
Yeah. Anytime.
We're covering all the bases here. Anyway, audience, what'd you think about Werewolf by Night? Amsterdam, are you into werewolves? In any manner of speaking, let us know. We're in the comments. We're on Twitter at y'all_different. We're on Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast. We're on Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC. We are not on TikTok, but we're thinking about it. If you want to talk to me about Black Panther, anything Black Panther, comics, TV shows, movies, Ryan Coogler, find me on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm at a king named Simba. That's where I'm at.
Are you one of those people who's upset that Mario isn't caked up anymore?
Ooh.
Tell me about it, because were you trying to fuck the plumber? Come on now. There are better people in that universe. Anyway, find me on Twitter at DuckMcGuck.
Remember you said that.
Yeah.
If you guys want to talk to me about how Margot Robbie is one of the best actresses of this generation, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI. Thanks again for joining us. I don't know what we're doing next time around.
I was going to say, I don't know what's next.
So there are a number of things that could be happening, and I just won't get your hopes up. So let's just keep going.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the mystery. Also, if you want to find Gabby, she's on Twitter at Werewolf Waifu. It is all one word.
Ooh, I like the sort of blending of things there.
Yeah,
that's really
right?
good.
Alliteration, werewolves, hentai, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, it's been different. Bye.
Bye.
Colin.
I'm not going to answer this question.
Ladies, gentlemen, everyone. This is a potential splash zone. Splash zone with a question mark. So, Colin.
I'm not going to answer this question.
You like monsters?
Yeah.
Bowser, does he do it for you?
I'm not going to answer this question.
That's
I
a yes.
told you I wasn't going to answer this
Okay, it was a two-pronged question.
You're making assumptions.
I'm just asking. I'm
not
asking a
you,
question.
her.
Oh, got it.
I will make assumptions. You're not giving answers.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Can you
not
tell
how
me
it
why
works.
people want to have sex with Bowser?
He big. That's mostly it.